Hello guys, and welcome to part 14 of my 2D platformer on Godot. Basically it is this girl and the platformer is called Ninja Run. Last time we made sure we did change our generator for the enemies, and we are using calls to the World Wide Web basically. We are using RESTful calls and it looks like this. Basically we're using, this is not what it looks like. I think I need to open the enemy generator, yes. So basically we're doing random number API calls, and we are receiving our random numbers, and based on those random numbers, we did change the size of our enemies. So now we are going to address the issue with our ugly font, or kind of non-really visible font with the points. Would like to make it nicer and a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and see how this can be done. In order for us to change the styles and look and feel of something inside Godot that is related to text or one of the button or one of the controls, basically, we need to change its theme, like their themes. And once you change the theme of this element, everything under that element, including the element itself, will change its look and feel. So if we open our player's scene, we will see that we are using the control here and the points label. So in both of them, there is a theme in the inspector. On the right side, there is the theme option. And if we change the theme inside the control, we will also apply it to the children nodes, which means the points label. And the points label is a rich text label. Basically, I think we can see it somehow. Rich text label here, right there. It's of type rich text label. So we want to change the look and feel of the rich text label. So let's go ahead and create our theme folder, right? So go ahead here in the file system, right click, create new folder, themes. And in the themes, we are going to add a new theme, right? It's a resource. The theme is a new resource. So I'm clicking right click here and then adding new resource. And I'm looking for theme. It's already selected. So let's go ahead and create it. I'm gonna call it like points theme. Maybe also make it bigger. I don't know. Points theme resource. So if I now double click here, it will open this preview window. And here you see all sorts of UI elements, right? You see the button and the toggle and so on. What I need to change is basically only the rich text label. So I would like to change the look and feel of this rich text label. Let me just type here something like I'm opening the rich text label, typing points, colon, let's say 100, to see how it looks, right? It currently looks like that. And if I go to my theme again, I have several options. In order for me to adapt this, right now I have basically nothing attached to this theme. There is only the resource, there's the default font, and that's all I can change. But if I click here on the edit theme, I have an option to add an item, add a class items and so on, or maybe copy or create a new theme from a template. Like if I create a theme from the current editor template, this means that my editor template that I basically use to see all those options here will be copied, right? And I can let me see, I can, for instance, change the preset. If I go with alien, I can then copy from the current editor template, and alien will be applied, right? And then I can also then drag and drop my theme to the points, and it should look like my editor right now. So let me just try this quickly. So I'm going to open the control, and I'm going to open the theme. And as the theme is applied to the object, to the node you are applying it to, as well as all its children, if I actually drag and drop the theme right now here, it will also apply it to the points label. So let's see if something changes. Yep, It did change, looks like this, which is even more ridiculous than it was before. I don't know. We've managed it, guys. We've managed it. New achievement unlocked. So let's go ahead and undo that, right? I'm pressing several times Control Z to undo that. And I will basically, maybe, I don't know if I can just undo the change. I'm gonna delete this team, right? I'm going to move to trash. Then I'm going to add a new team. Gonna be called points team. And I'm also gonna change my editor because this thing looks a little bit weird. I'm gonna go with the default. So this is what happens if you copy from the current editor. Like you can create an empty editor template and then you see like all those options. I didn't show you that, but actually if you copy it from the current editor template, you had all those options as well, right? But this is a little bit overwhelming. We are only interested in one of those, and that is the rich text label, right? Only in this thing, and not in any of those. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and use the add class items. Let me see if I can, maybe I need to delete this again as the controls. It does not seem to be working here, but we can do it. Points team. So now I'm going to just click the add class items. And then I'm presented with this amazing UI interface, but I can click the 2 dots here and can select, or I can actually type the rich text label, but I'll just select it, the rich text label, and then add all. So this right now only adds the styles and the changes I need to do for the rich text label, right? So let me just change the default color to red to just illustrate my point. And then save. Then I'm going to go to the player scene, go to control, team, and then I'm going to drag and drop the team. And I also want to like points 100 or whatever. Write something, right? If you see that it's now red, right? This is not really a big improvement. We want to change the font for that. There should be already a font in your assets folder if you have downloaded the assets from my GitHub page. If not, I'll post a link, you can download it. It's called Ninja Naruto. It's free for commercial and private use as far as I know, but we cannot directly use the TTF file. We need to create a new dynamic font. So inside themes here, I'm going to create a new folder that is going to be called fonts. And here I'm going to create a new resource, and it's going to be called, it's going to be the type dynamic font, right? So I'm going to go with points font. We're only going to have one font for that, so should be enough to just have points font. If I double click on the font, there is the font drop down, and I can assign font data. And the font data basically is the TTF extension file. So I can just drag and drop it here. And I already have the font data here. If I save my project and then basically assign this dynamic font, the dynamic font to my team. So let me open the team. And there should be a font somewhere for my rich text label. So let's open the rich text label. We have fonts. There is the normal font, right? We're using the normal font. We're not using the bold or italics or anything. So I'm just gonna drag and drop the font, the dynamic font we created to the normal font. And if I do this, it should already update the points, but sometimes it does not update it directly. So I'm just gonna click away and click back to refresh the scene. So right now it updated it, but it is scrolling, right? I don't want to have a scroll bar, so I'm gonna extend it a little bit more. So it already looks a little bit better with the font. And if you prefer, you can just leave it like that, and that's it. We're done. but I would like to explain some more stuff, right? First of all, I would like this to be white. So let me change the color again to white. And I would like to have basically an outline. The outline I can define inside the font, right? I can, if I extend the settings in the font, I can change the size. So I can make it bigger, right? I can make it a little bit bigger. And I can also add the outline. I prefer to make it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go with 22, I guess. And I'm going to go with outline 2, right? Now change the outline color to black. So right now, it looks quite nice. I'm happy with how it looks, but you see there is a problem. This thing is cut from the left and from the top. The top one I can fix quite easily. The points label is larger than it needs to be. So as long as I have some space, I can just go to my font, to my dynamic font, and add some extra spacing from the top. I'm gonna go with 5. And I can resize it. But there is like, here in the font, there is only a bottom and there is the spacing of the characters. I can add more spacing for the space bar and the character spacing, right? But I don't, I'm gonna go with 1 character spacing, 2 spacing for the space bar, and basically extend this a little bit, the box, so that I can have basically maybe even make it 2 lines just in case I break the points and have like, I don't know, how many points do I need to have? I don't know, 10,000 points or something like that. If I have 10,000 points to look like this. This is all nice and fine, right? But still on the left side, it's still cut. And we need to fix it. There are like 2 ways to fix it. One of them is basically a hacky way, and I'm gonna show you that first. And the other way is basically the easier way that you should be fixing such stuff. The hacky way is to add a script to the points label here. And I'm just gonna create a points label script. I'm gonna get rid of all that and just retain the rich text label. And if I go to the player script, right, the player GD script, I will search for set text, where I basically set the points text, right? And this is the method that is being called on the rich text label. And if I just implement this method here, I will be basically overwriting the text, the set text method of the rich text label, right? So I can just print string setting text to, and then set the text, and then I use the text, right? So if I do this right now, what do you think will happen? Basically, what will happen is the points will not change, right? They are no longer dynamically changing, but I am changing them inside here. Basically, I'm printing what they should be set to, right? But they're not being set to that. Because if you imagine this is like the default implementation of the rich text label, I'm basically overwriting the default implementation of the rich text label with my custom implementation, and I am not calling the parent implementation or the default implementation. In order for me to do that, I can do just dot set text. So this means that I am overwriting it, but I am still calling it in the end. I'm basically adding some custom logic of mine here. So if I do that, the point should work again. Yeah, I'm printing them still down there, but they are also being set correctly. So I can just remove the print, and you remember, like, this is because we want to get rid of this cut on the left. And I can just do string and then add an empty space, right? So this means that whatever I set here in the text, I will supplement with the empty space. So right now it's no longer cut because I am always adding the empty space on the left. And I can also add whatever I want, actually. In that case, my player will still think, okay, I'm setting the text to this, but the text will actually be this plus this. But as I said, this is like the hacky way of doing that, and we're not gonna do that, right? We're just gonna go with this implementation, maybe even delete the script. But so now let's actually delete it. Where is the script? It should be somewhere in the points label. Yeah, points label GD. I am going to remove the script, detach the script. I am detaching the script. Then I am moving away from the script, and then selecting it inside the file system. Right click, move to trash, remove. So there we go. Right now it should still be working, but it should still be cut. So in order for us to do that, to do this like spacing, this is not part of the dynamic font. This is part of the theme, and we can add style basically. So styles, you can add like the focus and the normal style. We're gonna add a new normal style, which is gonna be a new empty style box empty. And inside the style box empty, I can click again. I will see a certain content margin, right? And I can increase, let me see if I can see it here. Yeah, I can increase the left margin. As much as I feel like it should be a nice, I think it's like 5. 5 is a good margin. And if I now, I can also increase the top margin right now. So I can actually remove my top margin here from my font. And let me refresh again. And I will use the style, the style box basically to set the margin. I can save the style box as a resource. In order for me to do that, if I click save, to say, okay, you need to make it unique first. And I can just do this, like make unique, and I can save it. And I don't need to actually save it as a resource, but I can just say, okay, this is like the points label style box. If I want to like reference it somewhere else, or it would be just saved, I think, as part of the theme. So right now, things should be working as nicely. What I don't like is that this is like too far down. So I'm gonna enable grid snap. Make it in the upper, make it a little bit larger, make it in the upper left corner, and then I'm going to add to change the margin basically from make it 15 in both directions from here. So yeah, this right now looks nicer. I like it that way, so we're gonna leave it at that. So guys, this is it for this tutorial. I hope you liked it, and if you have any questions about the themes or the styles, the boxes and so on, don't hesitate to ask me. Basically, this is the way to model and change the styles of any control element basically using the themes. And in that case, we are only changing the rich text label theme. If I wanted to basically add a button here, I could basically change I could basically apply the theme to the button. Let me do that quickly just to see to show you how it works. Basically works exactly the same way. I will have the button here. It's under control. My theme is already applied to control. So if I wanted to basically change the button theme, I would need to add a button class. So let me just duplicate my theme just to make sure that it already exists. Let me just duplicate it like 1. I'm gonna delete that so we don't have to follow anything or whatever. And I'm going to work with the 1, so I'm gonna set the theme here to points theme 1. And in points theme 1, I will add the class item button, right? So now I have not only the rich text label, but I also have the button. And for the button, I can also already use the font I have. I can reuse it basically. And if I reload, it will look like this. I can also change the color, the contrast, and so on, like the foreground. There should be also the style and whatnot, right? I can just go with, say, okay, buttons I would like to have blue, and I can also add like a new style box and would have, I don't know, let's see how it looks. Yeah, I don't have a background color right now. And that's because I don't have a style box that is correctly set for the button. If I wanted to have like a colorful style box, I could just clear the empty style box and, for instance, go with new style box flat and change the background color to red or whatever. And I don't know, I could set like a border width or something, maybe also add some border radius. I could go with 3, all directions, and I don't know, make it a little bit bigger. So basically, I don't know why it says wet or whatever, but basically this is how you can style your like elements. Go with your themes and set the default font. I basically also set the default font here. If I reset that, all other elements will still not have a font. If I set it, it will be using my default font, or change the font inside the element itself. If you have a parent font, you can also change the font, the inner font. It overrides the parent, so unless there is no if there is an inner font, for instance, for this button, like a theme with a font, I can use this and not be basically relying on my parent. And basically that is it, guys, for this episode. Once again, I hope it was useful and made a little bit sense, at least. For me, the themes are one of the most complex or complicated things, because I'm used to like other kinds of setting this up. Yeah, so I used to work with CSS and some other stuff, so I don't know. It is actually quite cool. You can modify almost anything you like, and you can achieve different results. But it has, like for instance, when I first entered Godot, I wanted to go to the label and change the size from here, and I was super frustrated that there is no way to change the size. And if I actually wanted to change the size, I need to create a new dynamic font for that. Yeah, for instance, if I like copy this label right now, and I would like to have a different, basically, font size for the second one. What is here? No. Then I would need to basically copy this dynamic font, change its size. Maybe I can just do it quickly. I don't know what I'm doing, like 2, whatever. Basically, I would need to change its size here, make it, I don't know, smaller. And then inside the second label, I would need to use my theme, a new theme. Basically, I would need to copy this theme, duplicate or smaller. And in here, I will use the smaller font size, which is called 2 for some reason. And I think, yeah, I'm gonna use the smaller font size here. And I can then assign this theme to my other label. This is how basically you achieve different font sizes and stuff. It's a little bit counterintuitive, but it works, and it offers you a great deal of customization. So yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. If I can, I will try to answer. And if I cannot, I will still try to find the answer for you guys, because you're awesome. So yeah, that's it. I hope you did like this episode. We're almost at the end. I think we just need to animate the throw, like animate the throw animation. and also maybe do some customization for our state machine. Like the state machine right now is not really really good. So that's it, guys. I think I say this for the third time this episode, but this is really it, and this robot is going at it. So yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy your lives. See you. Bye bye.